Thank you so much for having me here. Just to give you a snapshot of Bangalore, we have a 14,000 kilometer road network. We have 14 million population, 12 million registered vehicles. That is almost a 1:1 ratio between vehicle population and human population. And we have about 40,000 road intersections. We are the most congested city in India as per TomTom rankings, and we are the 6th most congested city in the world. Whatever I'm going to say next is basically directed towards ensuring we get off this ranking, basically, right? That's my target. That's it. Now, I'll have my presentation divided into two parts. One is what we are doing right now and what is in place and will be operational by about December, January of this year and January of next year, right? So we have something called as ASTRAM. ASTRAM is basically an acronym for Actionable Intelligence for Sustainable Traffic Management. Now what ASTRAM does is, in a nutshell, is in this slide. Basically, we try and get data from multiple sources. It can be our CCTV cameras, it can be from map-based aggregators, it can be from mobility aggregators, it can be from other private services which generate data pertaining to traffic. So we have tie-ups with both public and private entities who provide us certain data. We have our own boots on the ground. I head an organization which has about 5,600 people working in about 2 shifts on a daily basis. So we generate live road traffic conditions by way of roadblocks, accidents, water logging, tree falls, processions, protests, and various other things which are unique to India. So that data is fed into a big data platform, and this data platform basically gives us insights as to what's happening and helps us in traffic congestion mitigation and in planning, and some insights into what could be the congestion based on past historical data, right? Now, these are the collaborations that we are having with various agencies. As you can see, we have with mobility aggregators, we have with corporate travel managers, we have with travel data aggregators, we have with map-based services, we have our own field officers on the ground. We have social media as well. We have integrated various aspects of social media. We created an AI engine which crunches all this data and gives us insight into giving into basically actionable measures that we can take on the ground. So I'll just give you 2 use cases of ASTRAM, which we did recently, which will give an insight as to what ASTRAM does. So ASTRAM basically helps us in congestion monitoring and prediction. So what we predict, so this is Bangalore about a year back, exactly a year back on September 27th, we had a gridlock in Bangalore. The gridlock was caused by a long weekend coming up and people wanting to leave Bangalore. We see a huge exodus of people because Bangalore is a cosmopolitan city where a lot of people are living here, but their hometown is elsewhere. So we have a lot of people leaving Bangalore during long weekends. So on 6th September, the red line is what we had predicted as the congestion, and what actually happened because of our mitigation measures is in blue line. So what we do as mitigation measures is that we staggered certain timings by way of heavy goods vehicles and of buses. And we spoke to a few of the private bus operators, as well as the KSRTC, which is the state-owned corporation which runs the buses. So we staggered the timings of these buses. We also ensured that the buses are disparately located. So instead of being at the main bus center, where you generally have about 600 to 800 buses in a period of 4 hours, we tried to ensure that they are located elsewhere so that they are along the routes and people use those routes and catch the buses which are outside Bangalore city. So we shifted them to 5 other central hubs in Bangalore. So this is what we were able to do using the prediction model and by talking to the various stakeholders to ensure that on the weekend that the congestion is reduced. Yeah, so what ASTRAM does is it gives us insights into what could be the congestion for the next day, in the next 24 hours, which areas their congestion is expected, and for how long the congestion is expected. So as you can see, this is the congestion expectation for 13th September, again where we had a long weekend of 4 days on 14th, 15th, 16th and 17th. So at these places we were able to take some measures and ensure that the congestion is reduced. Now this is another impact. When we studied Bangalore traffic movement, we realized on Saturdays our peak hours are not in the morning. Our peak hours actually start at about 11 o'clock in the morning and go up to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now what we were able to do is we were able to restrict the movement of heavy goods vehicles during this time. And the line in, blue is what is for July. And if you see what is in the dark blue color, it is for August. That's basically, and if you see the peak hours in between 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we are able to reduce that much of peak hour traffic because we prevented the movement of heavy goods vehicles. Bangalore doesn't have a complete outer ring road. It is only about 34 kilometers, which is the nice road. So, and on the existing outer ring road, metro work is happening. So, in the peak hours, we prevent the movement of heavy goods vehicles into Bangalore. And by shifting this time on Saturdays, we have been able to reduce congestion by about 6 to 7% during the morning peak hours, which is sufficient to ensure that congestion is mitigated. This is another incident reporting that we have because of the amount of staff that we have on the ground. Like I said, we collect a lot of data pertaining to various road traffic conditions, which we again share with the map services like Google, Maple and various other services. So it helps them with route planning and it helps the end user also to get data as to what's happening in and around his locations. The other thing that we are working on is using AI prediction models. We use a weighted average model and we are trying to get data from various other sources. Primarily Bangalore traffic is a monsoon traffic management issue. Monsoon is a big issue for Bangalore traffic. So we are using the IISC's waterlogging model that they have developed. And basically we superimpose that with what is the traffic expected and the weather data for the next 24 hours to understand what could be the congestion at any given point of time. Now we use this data on August 14th, that is the weekend, the day preceding the Indian Independence Day. And we have various graded measures as to what we need to do. So on August 14th, on 2 days prior to that, we requested all the companies to do work from home. We saw that the congestion and the rain expected is so high that the outer ring road would lead to a gridlock. Because again, that was a long weekend. And we requested all the tech companies to go for work from home, which most of them did, and it did help mitigate. Incidentally, that day was the day when Bangalore Metro had the highest metro ridership ever in its history. It crossed 8 lakhs in a single day. Right? So that's another thing that we are doing. Yeah, so these are the initiatives that we have taken up, which they are right in now in their installation or trial phases, and we should have them in working in the next 6 months. One is we have taken up upgradation of our signals to adaptive traffic control signals. We have about 50 intersections. This is working on a model called CausiCost. CausiCost is developed by Center for Development of Advanced Computing. It is very unique to India and Indian traffic problems, and we have seen it working well. So we have, this should be operational, it's already operational in 50 junctions and 165 junctions will be operational by December of this year. The other one is we are trying to develop an AI engine at our traffic management center. Now, Bangalore city traffic alone has 9,000 CCTV cameras, 4,600 body-worn cameras, 200 dashboard cameras, and I mean, infinite mobile phones, right? So we can crowdsource a lot of these data. The AI engine at the back end will detect traffic violations and also do ATC function, automatic traffic counting and classification functions. This again will feed into Astram and we'll be able to take some better management decisions. More importantly, this will be used for traffic violation detection. The whole idea is to make the entire system input agnostic. Whatever video feed we get, we can crowdsource it from public as well as from other government sources as well and do the crunching at the back end. This will be operational by December. So the trial phase is over. The AI algorithm is learning and it's improving. So I'm confident that it will meet our service level agreements by November and we can launch it by December. The other thing that we are doing is we are trying to create a mobility digital twin for Bangalore. It's a huge task on its own, but what we are trying to do is we are trying to create and simulate traffic scenarios and test our traffic management strategy before they're actually implemented on the ground. What micro-simulation is going to do is that right now we are simulating on the 12 high-density corridors and other 9 other corridors. So 21 corridors of Bangalore are being simulated already. But micro-simulation, we are trying to take a local area, like say, for example, if you're aware of Bangalore, Jayanagar is one small suburb of Bangalore. So that part of Bangalore we'll try and simulate based on the local level congestion at that area. Right? So that's what we are trying to do in this mobility digital twin. This will take some time. I think we just started this a couple of months back, but it will take about 6 to 8 months. I think it should be ready shortly. Again, our data from other sources and as well as some research which has gone into it through IISc and the various centers of excellence and IC is being used for this. Yeah, so this is something which is close to my heart because Bangalore is a tech hub and I thought, why don't we do something completely made in India, right? We wanted to create a traffic signal light, we are working. So what we are trying to do, we are using Mapple's live traffic data with minimum latency and using an adaptive controller and trying to optimize the signal timing to work on the live traffic conditions. So if you're aware of Taj West End, somewhere there, if you have gone there, the traffic signal light is there actually working on this mode. We are using live data to operate the signal 24/7, except when there's a VIP or ambulance movement where we go to manual mode. 99% of the time this is working there. So it worked well in a 2-arm junction, but 3 and 4-arm junction require some more analysis and inputs and this thing. So I hope one day we'll be able to tout this as our made in India signal, and this is completely, the hardware and software is completely made in India. So this is something close to my heart. Hopefully by December or January we'll be able to have about 50 signals operating in this fashion. Yeah, so these are the 4 things that we're looking forward to. Thank you for your patient hearing. And like I said, what we are trying to do is use data. We are custodians of huge amount of data and process it into meaningful information and try to make lives of everybody here a little better and get off that #1 position. Yeah, thank you so much.